nou maar by die eerste beginsels. Kyk gou mooi net dat joune reg is, myne was verkeerd. Hier moet 'n 3 net wees. Ek het hier daai 3 ingemaal nie. So if you just add those 3's there, then luckily it doesn't affect the answer, maar jy sou nog steeds 'n punt verloor het as jy verkeerd gemaal het soos ek. Okay. Good. So I'm going to carry on with number 3. Yeah. Wat is die afgeleide van 2x? Wat is sy afgeleide? Nee, sy afgeleide. It's just 2, nee? Want dit mos 1 maal met die 2 en dan val die x weg. Okay. So hierso staan 'n 1 voor hom. Got it. Okay. Goed. By nommer 3 sê hulle vir jou vind die gradiënt van die raaklyn aan daai kromme by die punt. So I'm going to say y is equal to 5x squared minus 2x plus 1. And they're looking for it at x is equal to 2. Ons gee nie om oor die 17 nie. Because they didn't ask for the equation, they're just looking for the gradient. If they were looking for the whole equation, you would have used the 17 as well. Okay. Goed, so ek gaan sy afgeleide kry. And even though this is written differently, the derivative still gives you the gradient. Met ander woorde, die gradiënt gaan gelyk wees aan 10 maal 2 minus 2. So dis 18. Good. Okay. Nou, nommer 4 is soos die wat ons vandag gedoen het. If that is the graph of the first derivative, what type of graph will the original function be? A parabola. Nee? Goed, so hulle sê vir jou, given the graph with the equation, determine the gradient of the graph of f when x is equal to 0. Goed, hoe gaan ons omdoen? Where is x equal to 0? There. Okay, so met ander woorde, hy gaan ook eintlik makliker wees as ek klaar vir die ander terstydelik het. She's on the phone. Okay, stem julle saam, hierdie ene gaan wees, y is gelyk aan minus 1/2 x plus 2. That will be the equation of that graph. Stem julle saam? Okay, so sy gradiënt hierso by 0. Remember this, that gives you the gradient. Daai is mos gelyk aan dit. So as hulle vra vir wat sal die gradiënt wees by x is gelyk aan 2, dan is daai mos 0. So then the gradient will just be equal to 2, want dit is sy y-afsnit. Onthou hierdie lyn gee vir jou die lyn van die vergelyking van die gradiënt. This line represents the gradient of the original graph. So what is the value of this line at x equal to 0? 2. Nee, want dit is sy y-afsnit. Stem julle saam? Okay, so that's all you had to write there. Then for 4.2, they say the x value of the turning point of f. Mm-hmm. 4. Hoekom? Want dit is waar die eerste afgeleide gelyk is aan 0. In other words, where the graph of the first derivative intercepts the x-axis. Okay, dan vra hulle vir jou vir watter waardes van x neem f toe, so where is it an increasing function? So ek wil kyk waar is die grafiek positief, né? Where is this graph a positive graph? In other words, above the x-axis. Smaller than 4. Okay. Seems that you guys have a grasp on the work that we did today, at least. Whether the turning point of the graph of f is a minimum or a maximum value. So you need to say, is it a minimum or a maximum waarde? So let's quickly just do this again. Do you guys agree that here the derivative is positive and here the derivative is negative? Met ander woorde, vir hierdie ene moet hy stygend wees, dan draai hy en dan is hy dalend. So the shape of the original graph will look something like that. And a graph like that has a maximum or minimum? A maximum value. En sien julle, hy tel net 1 punt, so hy het nie gesê verduidelik jou antwoord of enige iets nie. Jy kan net neerskryf uit 'n maksimum waarde. Yes. Maar sê, is hulle by hierdie hek? Ja, gaan al gou. Gaan let vir jou slice vir slice weer aan. Okay. Bel my as jy sukkel. Okay. Almal happy daar? You good? Goed, dan het ek vir julle gesê ons skip oor nommer 5 and we go straight to number 6. Okay, 6.1 is lekker maklik, gee die koördinate van die y-afsnit. -4 is reg, maar onthou jy moet daai 0 ook bysit, né? As hulle soek vir koördinate, moet hy so lyk. 6.2, calculate the x-intercepts. Nee, julle kan net nie net in julle koppe sê nie. Werk hom uit. This is the one where you have to go and you factorize that. Note that when we get to b, those things where we have to add up to bx squared, wat is die term wat 'n x kwadraat het in hierdie ene? 0. So it has to add up to 0. Want jy begin eers met jou, jy moet eers daai eerste hakie kry. If you have the first bracket, tell me. Stem julle saam, as jy -1 gaan instel, dan kry jy 0. Okay? So then it means that your first bracket will be x plus 1. Okay, wat sal die waarde van a wees? 2. En wat gaan die waarde van, sê ek die antwoord, wat gaan die waarde van c wees? It's -4. Okay. Almal van julle by tot daar. All of you understand where I got the 2 and the -4? Ja, ma'am. Okay. So nou gaan ek sê, hierdie ene maal daai ene gee ons vir my 2x kwadraat. Okay? And then this one times that one gives me bx squared. And those two have to add up to 0. Yep, dit is -2. And all of this is still equal to 0. Verstaan Verstaan julle almal hoekom moet ek by 0 uitkom? Because here I have plus 0x squared. There's no x squared term in there. Nee. So the two have to cancel out one another when we simplify it again. So you have plus 2x squared minus 2x squared, then eliminates the x squared terms. Almal by. Okay. Nou moet ek gaan en daai ene faktoriseer. Ek gaan hom eers deel deur 2. Do you guys see that that will be a turning point? Nou ons het mos gesê as hy 2x afsnit het wat op dieselfde plek lê. So both of those x-intercepts are at -1, then that will be one of our turning points. We're going to reaffirm that now when we calculate the turning points. Maar hê hom net so lank in julle agterkop. Okay, 6.3, even more marks. Calculate the coordinates of the turning points. Sien julle hoe baie punte is hierdie goeters en dit is nie moeilik nie. What do we need to do to get the turning points? What do we need to do to get the x value of the turning points? Let's start there. You have to say first derivative equal to 0. That's where you start. Remember, that's the difference between two squares. En kyk ook mooi, jy kan nie gaan deel deur 6 voordat jy hom nie gelyk gestel het aan 0 nie. Only when it's an equation can you divide by a number. Okay. Goed, en sien julle ons het mos gesê ons weet een van die draaipunte gaan wees daar. Now if you go and calculate the y value of this, you'll get it by substituting -1 in, and you'll see that it gives you 0. So this is one of the turning points. Okay, en om hierdie ene se y-waarde te kry, gaan ons sê, ek stel 1 in die oorspronklike vergelyking in. Dus 2 minus 6 minus 8. So those are the values of my two turning points. Maak dit sin dat hy 2 draaipunte het? Onthou dis 'n 30 graadse funksie, né? So hy het 2 draaipunte. Daai stukkie sommetjie daar is 6 punte werd. So you get a mark for indicating that you are setting the first derivative equal to 0. So moet dit nie net uitlos en hom oplos en jouself geniet langs die pad nie. You have to show me that you know the turning point is first derivative equal to 0. Okay, dan sê hulle bereken die koördinate van die punt van infleksie. How do we get the point of inflection? Second derivative equal to 0. Onthou nou hierdie, this isn't the first derivative. This is the first derivative. So what I sometimes do is when I start with this, right at the beginning, I write down for myself, this will be the first derivative, that will be the second derivative. And then from there, you know how to carry on. Want dan het jy klaar jou eerste afleide en jou tweede afleide reg. Jy gaan dit aan. Yes. Thank you.